Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aiman Hakim bin Fadzil, and now I'm going to present to you about the risk assessment of COVID-19 impacts on university. And this assignment is prepared for Mr. Muhammad Shafiz bin Sahran. Okay, now I'm going to introduce my group members. First one, we have Miss Siti Syahmin Karmila. Second, we have Miss Wardina. Third, we have Miss Hassledya Hafiza. And the fourth, we have me, Mr. Muhammad Aiman Hakim. And the last one, we have Mr. Raihan. Okay, now we're going to move on with the first presenter, which is Miss Hassledya Hafiza.
Introduction. Coronavirus disease COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Anyone can get sick with COVID-19 and become seriously ill or die at any age. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide and presents an unprecedented challenge to public health, food systems, and the world of work, especially in educational institutions. So today, we are going to talk about how it affects universities and how they manage it. Starting from Siti Syahmin Karmila.
Hi, Assalamualaikum to Sir Hafiz. I am Syahmin Karmila as a first presenter, and I will explain about my potential risk, which is low quality of delivering in education. As we all know, pandemic COVID-19 has changed the entire educational program in school as well as in institutions of higher learning. There is a significant difference in PDP programs when all physical lectures or classes have to be replaced with online distance learning or RDL. In general, university lectures, which are usually attended by hundreds of students in a hall, cannot longer be conducted until an unknown period. These changes impact to all organizations in higher educational institutions, including students, lecturers, management, and administration. Many issues were discussed, such as how these changes have also impacted on the quality of delivering in education among the students. So, when there is a failure in delivering education, the student will graduate with less knowledge about the course, and he or she has learned to face the hardship in getting stable job, which lead to financial unstable condition. This situation happens when student is feeling demotivated during the classes. Students are cheating during the exam, students are reluctant to open the camera during the classes, and the way the lecturer giving the lectures sometimes are not interesting and the students feel bored. That cause other hardship in getting stable job, which lead to financial unstable conditions. So, to preventing this failure, the higher educational committees must develop strict format for lecturers to always have online meetings and have to check-ups on the students more frequently. Other than that, university can also help to give free laptop for students who are unable to attend class due to not having the laptop. With this initiative, would greatly benefit to the students as their families could not afford to buy them for online learning. Finally, lecturers must be creative in delivering the lectures so that students will be more prepared before having the lecture when the lecturer uses an interesting way in delivering their lecture. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to the next presenter, which is Wardina.
Thank you, Syahmin Karmila, for the very wonderful presentation. Me, myself, Wardina, will deliver my next potential risk of COVID-19 impacts to the universities, which is the university particularly will lose its competitive advantage in the future. Competitive advantage here can be defined as factors that enable a firm to manufacture goods or services more efficiently or at a lower cost than its competitors. Business organizations, including universities, must have their own mission and vision in order to be the best among the rest of the universities. Unfortunately, when this pandemic strikes in, higher education firms face a lot of bad outcomes and risks. For the long-term potential risk in the future, the universities might lose their ability to compete with others in terms of performance and profitability. The hazardous situations that cause this scene to be happened is when the university's organization might need to remove few instructors to lessen the debt incurred in paying salary to them. However, when the university decides to quit them immediately, these people might have professional skills that can be used to improve the university's performance in the future. The organizational process of the institution also will be slowed down due to lack of staff and instructors while the number of students is still rising. When the organization has slowed down, there must be a lot of bad news such as the failure of delivering education, protests, and other bad perspectives. These scenes will arrive at the ears of the students and make them feel less interested to register into that university. In the end, the profitability range of the organization will slowly be going down or worse, bankruptcy. These hazardous scenes will happen, causing the university to lose its competitive advantage in the future. Hearing all those risks and hazards, every problem has its solution. Number of ways have been implemented in many business organizations to remain their productivity when this pandemic strikes in. In my suggestion, instead of quitting immediately, the possible professional skills try to lessen the salary given to them, or lessen the working hours, such as doing hybrid like teaching, and also do more professional promotional stuff to enlighten the students. For example, reduce the registration fee so that there is an existence of equity census comes from the university, as people who are short money are the ones that face a lot of hurdles. So that is all from me. I will hand this presentation to Hassledya.
Hello, back to me, Hassledya Hafiza. So I will explain my potential risk, which is a decrease in job opportunities. The COVID-19 pandemic that has hit the whole world has resulted in many job opportunities being decreased. This has had a huge impact on the future, especially in educational institutions. This lack of job opportunities presents various hazards such as financial hardships and emotional harm. Financial problems such as difficulty in paying university fees, living necessities, and so on will cause a person to face unstable emotions. This will also cause problems in terms of physical and mental health. So, the risk control that can be suggested is by management offering job opportunities to the instructors to conduct learning sessions online instead of minimizing the quota of the recruitment. Management can also assist to alleviate the burden of paying fees so that students will afford to do so. That's all from me. Next, I will leave it to Aiman Hakim to continue this presentation.
Hi, again. Now I'm going to continue with the next point, which is the long-term disruption to the institution. Its potential risk is that the institution has been forced to cancel classes and also close the door to the campus in response to the growing coronavirus outbreak. In addition, the institution also have to switch classes from physical learning to online learning, cancel spring break trips, and also students who studying abroad has been encouraged to return home to complete their studies. And then it has it. The institution closures will widen the equity gap. It is because there are students who have access and connectivity, making this move to online learning is possible. But at the same time, there are some students who doesn't have this accessibility. So, how do we do this? We're gonna do that with the risk control. The institution have to develop a robust system, which is they have to work closely with their IT departments to ensure their programs are able to be supported online and make their program more accessible to the people who have some poor connectivity. Next, the second point is that gather information and apply learnings. The institution have to analyze the steps that are already taken by other educators to understand what has worked, what hasn't worked, and how to tackle the challenges that they may face. And also, the administrators should take quick action to safeguard their campus and students in preparation for potential closures. And after all of this has been done, the institution might be a better place to provide the student with easy access to continue their studies online. And now, we move on to the last presenter, which is Mr. Raihan.
Hi, now I am going to explain about the next potential risk on the impacts of COVID-19 to the university, which is financial burden. When the COVID-19 outbreak hit our country on March last year, educational sector from school to the university must be fully closed. This is due to the government action to curb the spread of COVID-19 outbreak. Private universities are the most affected by this situation. It is because they are not government-funded institutions like public universities. This hazard occurs due to the admissions of local and foreign students into the campus that are not allowed. According to the statistics, the admission of foreign students is the largest contributor to the income of private universities. Therefore, the universities need to incur huge losses because of unused infrastructure facilities. So, to manage these problems, one of the risk controls is the government should allow the private universities to operate, but with the restricted number of students allowed in the campus. Other than that, the government can allow foreign students from low-risk countries to enter the country with a very strict SOPs, such as quarantine instructions that must be complied with. Now, we meet again on the last part of our presentation. What can we conclude is COVID-19 pandemic has various negative impacts for many sectors, especially the education sector. The universities, especially private institutions, faced with many risks and impacts. Because of that, effective measures need to be taken by the university to keep competitive and survive in this unstable and unpredictable situation. COVID-19 outbreak has changed the landscape of education with the utilization of technologies in education where online learning takes place. So that's all from us. Thank you.